I've tried to see this film 3 times. I finally got around to watching it. The End of Oak Street is brand new in cinemas across the UK. Let's talk about it. Hey, welcome back to the video, a brand new movie review. Today I'm talking all about The End of Oak Street. It's new in cinemas across the UK right now. I've seen it. Before we start talking about it, as always, a friendly reminder, these are just my thoughts. Don't let this dictate whether or not you go and see it. You might see it feel totally differently to me. That's okay. Movies aren't made to cater for everyone. Without any further ado, let's start talking about this film. And as I said, I went to see this film, tried to see this film 3 times. I finally got around to seeing it. And I don't want to compare it to like Jurassic Park. I feel like that's just a cliche, bit of a niche, because like a dinosaur film, Jurassic Park, they're just not the same. And I don't want to say this is like a new take on Jurassic Park, because it's not. But it felt like if we were to make something like Jurassic Park today, this is what we'd make. And it was a weird one, because it sort of felt like I've seen this film before. Like it's one of those films I'm like, I've obviously not seen this film, but it's like, oh, this all just seems familiar. Like it feels like a crossover of loads of different films, but I can't put my finger on why, and I can't place why. But I enjoyed it. I thought this was fun. Like, you know, it's quite a short film, 90-minute runtime, I think, just over potentially. And, you know, it's fun. Is it pretty predictable? Yes. Is it dragged out a little bit? Yes. Are there some questionable decision-making skills throughout this film? Yes. But, you know, it's not that serious. Some of the time we were laughing at the events of the film. Some of the time we were laughing at the dinosaurs. Some of the time we were laughing at the people that were trying to escape the dinosaurs, you know, and sometimes we were laughing because they were making jokes and they wanted people to laugh. Like, it's funny, it's silly, and, you know, yes, there are a lot of times where decisions were made, clearly in the moment, but you'd think, if that was an actual dinosaur, would you be doing that? I would question that, personally, as I think with a lot of people, because I was getting the same reaction from everyone around me. It was a fairly busy screening, and I think collectively everyone was like, huh? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? But, you know, it's kind of, I say unrealistic. Anything's realistic at this point. But, you know, it is a little bit unrealistic in terms of how it happens and what happens. And I think one of the biggest things that kind of maybe gets overlooked is how they're eating enough, how they're drinking enough. And I know that there's snippets of like how they're using food from the cupboards and stuff and making it all last, but I'm thinking, I've actually not seen you eat since this whole thing started. Like, I think day 1 I saw you eat, and I've not actually seen you eat since. I've not seen you sleep very much. Like, it's one of those, I'm like, I don't know, I feel like you only see segments of it, and, you know, obviously I get that they can't be, you know, doing scenes every time they go to bed and every time they eat a meal, but I don't know, there were little bits like that I was like, I feel like we're forgetting major human elements right now. And, you know, there were a lot of funny moments in terms of, this is funny because it's so stupid, but it was also funny because they would make, like, deliberately choosing to make funny jokes and humorous decisions, shall we say, within the film that, you know, that was funny. So there's that element too. It's not scary. It's not like a terrifying film. It's more of like a thriller, suspense kind of film. Does it get a little bit samey, a little bit repetitive after a while? Yeah, you know, but how much can you do with dinosaurs that are chasing after people and you've got to find a way to escape? Like, that's kind of the premise of this film. And after about 20 minutes of it, there's not really much more you can do unless you milk it in different ways, which is kind of what they've done in this film. But, you know, there's got to be some sort of, you know, meat added to the bare bones of the plot. And that's, you know, kind of what they've done. So you can't really fault them for it. Is it a 10 out of 10 blockbuster? My opinion, no, it's not. But like I say, it feels like this weird crossover. I feel like I've seen films like this where they've got to escape out of this like time period that they've been moved to. But then I've also seen similar things with dinosaurs. Like, it's a weird crossover bunch of films. I can't tell you what films because I literally can't put my finger on it. But yeah, it's one of those. I feel like I've seen this film before, even though I clearly haven't. You know, and I know I've already said that, but that's the only best way I can describe this film. Why am I doing this? Yeah, that's the best way I can describe this film, to be totally honest with you. I had a decent enough time with it. I enjoyed it. Some of the CGI, a little bit questionable, especially the dog at times. I mean, at times I thought, oh, it's a real dog. And then at times I thought, that's definitely not a real dog. Obviously, at times it's not a real dog. Like, the dog is like interacting with dinosaurs at some point throughout this film. Like, it's a little bit, ooh, what's going on? But yeah, there were some times where the bad CGI was so glaringly, obviously bad, which is a little bit of a shame because I thought, well, I don't know, maybe it could have been a little bit better given the fact that we've seen previous dinosaur movies from like 20, 30 years ago that at times had better CGI than what we're seeing right now. That's just my thoughts. But other than that, it's a fun little film. It's a little thriller. If you're looking for a little bit of suspense, I saw a lot of like younger teens in this film, like kind of 12, 13-year-olds. And clearly they were like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing in the world. So it's one of those type of films. It's definitely not like appealing for like these like thrill seekers that are looking for like the best film ever. It's not that. It's not trying to be anything that it knows it's not, if that makes sense. So yeah, there you go. That's what I've got to say on the end of Oak Street. It's in cinemas across the UK right now. As always, before I wrap up this movie review, what do I rate out of 10? Will it join my DVD collection? I'm gonna give it, I actually haven't thought about this, which is unlike me, but I'm gonna give it probably a solid 7 out of 10. I enjoyed it. It was fine. Yeah, 7 out of 10. Will it join my DVD collection? Possibly. It's definitely not a no. It's definitely not a yes. It's one of these films that maybe if I see it in a charity shop for like a quid in like 2 years time, or I get a good deal on it, or you know, whatever, then yeah, maybe. So yeah, it could be, but it's definitely not a no. It's definitely not a yes. It's not going to be a day of release purchase, let's put it that way. But there you go, like I say, end of Oak Street in cinemas across the UK right now. In the description below is the movie plot, a link to the movie trailer, as well as a link to our movie review playlist. It features every single movie review that I've ever done. There's more to come soon, and other than that, I'll see you in another video, and hopefully another movie review very soon.